Hello lovelies, today we're talking how to style your sweaters in 2025 and perhaps give a second look to those sweaters at the back of your closet that are really trending right now and can provide so much life to your outfit. Like sweater dresses, sweaters are very difficult to mess up. It's not about getting it wrong, it's really just about re-inspiring your wardrobe and looking to them as your best friends for chic layering, functionality, and comfort. So today I'm sharing a list of 7 ways that you can start wearing your sweaters, as well as little tips and tricks along the way. And don't forget to stay to the end of the video where I'm going to be sharing the do's and don'ts of sweater dresses, which perhaps I should do a whole video on. Let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in. But I just think it's important to get some really key things out of the way. I'm Ziva and I'm so happy you're here. I love creating videos that make it easier for you to get dressed in the morning, inspire you to take a little time to feel beautiful in your own skin and to love your outfit, because that confidence takes you anywhere you want to go. Let's go through a quick overview of some of the sweater trends that are happening right now. First, we have what I would call the heritage collection. I did a video earlier this fall on the English countryside aesthetic, and a lot of those things are popping in there. For example, Bare Isle sweaters, rich cable knits, and kind of those cardigans that look very English granny inspired. Also seeing shorter sweaters. And I think that part of this is because many of us struggle with not knowing where to tuck the sweater, right? Brands are finally understanding that although we don't want to necessarily tuck our sweaters and we need something to do with them. So they're just a little bit shorter now. I'm not talking cropped where you're showing your midriff. It's just a really nice length that works beautifully with skirts and jeans alike. Another big trend is what we'll call the statement sweater. And this is anything that is super eye-catching, whether it is a highly textured sweater that really steals the show. Also the return of statement sleeves. I just saw this beautiful sweater at Anthropology that has like the most gorgeous puff sleeves that reminds me of Anne of Green Gables. Let me know if you were a fan. I certainly was. I think I binge watched those all through the 80s and 90s. Then we have the chunky roll neck, which is so fabulous for adding just a quick layer for warmth. Very similar to that are the sweater vests. Back in our faces. These took a little bit of a hiatus. I would say that for 2 to 3 years, they were just like not happening. As always, cardigans have a point of view. It's always a very distinct cardigan style. And what we're seeing right now are cinch waists, a belt that kind of pulls it all together. Not to mention other gorgeous patterns like plaid, argyle, and anything preppy. The first sweater we're styling is the zip up. This is such a fantastic, versatile, layering best friend because you can wear it alone to really highlight whatever neck party you might have going on. You can easily layer in a turtleneck to provide dimension and have it really pop, especially if you're trying to incorporate different colors. I love the 3-color rule where you pick 3 colors that make the outfit look cohesive. So in this example, I have the burgundy zip up, the black turtleneck, and then I have a herringbone that matches my pants, and the black riding boot that matches the turtleneck. So what I've created is also a little bit of a sandwiching where there's a little bit of black here on top and then black on the bottom, and it ends up helping the outfit just come together. The other way that I'm really excited to start styling this sweater this fall is with multiple collars, doing either a rugby shirt or a polo shirt and popping the collar. The way that most of these sweaters are structured is that you zip it up and then it kind of creates a higher collar. And so picking more high collars to wear underneath creates a really cool preppy effect. The next way to style sweaters is by using a cropped cable knit or fisherman sweater. The cable knit is everywhere and I feel like every time that I see one, it goes out of stock. So if you see one you love, make sure to grab it. I really love the entire array that Ralph Lauren has. Also, this one by Quince is amazing and it's only $50. And so whether it's a cropped cable knit or a cropped fisherman sweater, these two are providing a lot of texture to your outfit. And again, you don't have to worry about where to tuck it. It just sits nicely like right underneath your waist. I love wearing cable knits with smoother texture on the bottom. So whether it's faux leather or a beautiful flowy skirt, it also looks fantastic with a midi A-line skirt in plaid, for example, especially with riding boots, nice and comfortable. And by the way, I have a whole video dedicated on how to style knee-high boots in particular. So make sure to check it out for more outfit ideas. And the fisherman sweater, I love wearing with denim and like a button-down shirt that just where the collar just pops through. It just looks very preppy and timeless. I will caution you that usually these two textures get really snagged by your jewelry. So just something to be aware of. By the way, I want to share my new ring by Damon. It means tomorrow in French. And I liked wearing it in one of two ways. Either stacked on my commitment finger. I'm just gonna keep stacking them until I get all the way to my nail. Or sometimes when I still want a really shiny statement moment, but I don't want it to get caught on things or like bump, workout equipment. I love that for most pieces you have options for materials like gold vermeil, silver, or the 3 golds. You can pick carat size and even diamond shape too. Like, do you want emerald cut or oval? The options are endless. The reason we get up to 40% off is because Demond sells directly to you, and the packaging is second to none. Demond was founded by a Frenchman living in New York that fell in love in Paris and designed an engagement ring worthy of his love after not finding what he wanted. That love that became the spark eventually inspired Demond. Make sure to take advantage of my 20% off discount code to shop site-wide. Moving on to the sweater that I'm wearing right now is the oversized crew neck sweater, and bonus points if it's cashmere. The one thing that's wrong with this sweater is that it's really hard to take it off. Sometimes I go into a couple days where this is all I'm wearing because it's so comfortable. You can barely see the t-shirt that I'm wearing underneath because it's not the best t-shirt for it. Usually I wear a t-shirt underneath that is a little bit more scooped and closer to my neck so that it can pop a little bit more. I love wearing this particular sweater with the slip skirt. Last year I was really into putting my sweaters up, belting them, and making sure that you could see a waist with the slip skirt. And for some reason this year I've done a 180 and I love the way it looks just loosely. And I think it's because I finally have the right sweater to just let it go and not tuck it anywhere. It's not too chunky and thick, so it still kind of drapes my body. You can see where things are. It doesn't create that extra bulk where I just look like a big box kind of coming towards you. I really love wearing it oversized over basically anything, not even a fake tuck, nothing. And the way that I'm wearing it right now is with knee-high socks and my riding boots by Zazan. These are best sellers for October, and they're looking like they're going to be best sellers for November as well. They're still in stock. They have them in 2 more colors, vintage camel and chocolatey brown. And I'm telling you, they are amazing. They're amazing. So this one is by Quince, and I think it's also a bestseller because it's inspired by some of the silhouettes that we've seen the Row do, for $1,500 instead of $119. They also have more of a slightly shorter one that's not oversized. That's $50. That's also phenomenal. So having that cashmere crew neck sweater is just an instant classic, and there's so many different ways to style it. Next we have the roll neck sweater, which can seem a little bit intimidating because it's just there's so much volume everywhere. I recommend that you tuck the neck inward to have it look very runway inspired versus the 80s where it's folded outward. Another thing that's intimidating about this sweater is that it feels like you could easily overheat. Couple tips. Number 1 is layer on really thin underneath to have it insulate your body and to, in case you start sweating, to have it absorb that. Secondly, pick the material wisely. So anything that's lamb's wool or mohair is going to be extremely warm. So sticking more to the lighter cashmeres, even cotton, is going to be really helpful. And the other key styling point with this sweater is don't walk out of the house with, unless you're walking outside for a long time, with a big chunky wool coat or, a puffer. You want to do a lighter jacket, like a chore jacket, maybe even a tweed blazer, something that is a layer that's going to keep you warm. And sometimes that is what I need because I live in upstate New York and I'm usually freezing, but I know that not all of you are as lucky as I am. The thing to keep in mind with the roll neck sweaters is that usually they're more voluminous. All of these, but especially with something that has so much volume, keeping the bottom silhouette in mind and making sure that you are either wearing something that is a little bit more form-fitting. Those cigarette pants or the tailored trousers are going to be really fantastic ways to pair with this sweater. The next sweater we're styling is the cardigan. Once again, these have just given more attention to the waist, so we're seeing a lot of belted cardigans. I fell in love with this beautiful belted cardigan by Anthropologie, which I just ordered because I couldn't stop thinking about it. Again, it just gives it a little something where it is a longer cardigan. It's got the gold lady buttons, but it's waisted and it just feels really elegant. Again, in a very relevant pattern, which is also trending, is the plaid. I moved over here because I didn't realize that it had grown dark all around me. So I moved over here because there's nothing beautiful to see over there. The other way that we're seeing cardigans is a collared cardigan. You can also kind of hack this yourself and just wear a collared shirt underneath to get the same look. A cardigan is also a great item to put on over something, take off, and then wear over your shoulders, kind of like tied here in the front for a very stylish and preppy vibe. In terms of vests, you can either use them to kind of like contain a very oversized shirt, which looks so chic, or you can also use it to further emphasize your curves and to manipulate the shape of your outfit. So if you have a very voluminous bottom and you kind of just want to bring it in a little bit, it is a key tool. You can also use more of a V-neck vest if you want kind of like that country club, I'm going to tennis look. Like very Ralph Lauren inspired as well. Number 7 is kind of like a sweater hybrid. It's a Ruana or a poncho. I got this Ruana by Ralph Lauren that I've traveled a ton with and I wear a lot at home and just to kind of like run in and out of the house. And when I'm feeling really fancy, I belt it. It makes me feel very chic and put together, even though sometimes like whatever it is that I'm wearing underneath is not amazing. These are just kind of the flowy layers that we keep seeing time and time again in 2025 and forecasted into 2026. This is a great hybrid sweater when you don't want to wear a jacket, but you need a little bit something heavier than just like your crew neck. Feel really elegant and polished as well. Now, in terms of the do's and don'ts of sweater dresses, I feel like I've talked about this so much on Instagram. I share daily videos on there, styling hacks, sales, you know, just like little bite-sized tidbits of fashion every day. And we'd love to see you there. The first thing with sweater dresses, we can all agree that we should, most of us, wear something underneath so that we're not freestyling, we're not jiggling, and we feel more confident. But once you pick your shapewear, do pay attention that it's not sausaging you. The thing that I ran into last week was I was, feeling really good in my sweater dress that I love, getting all the compliments. And then I noticed that my tights underneath were kind of like bunching, and right in the center seam, like the center seam had like was kind of crinkly and it was poking through the dress. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is another problem to worry about. It was like an easy fix, right? Like I just pulled them up really high to get the creases out. But you have these tights that start to kind of come down. Thermal tights do that a lot, where they start to kind of sag. And then, usually you put the waistband of the tights like right on your waist, where it's not going to create like muffin top, but then they start coming down and then you have a muffin top. No, these are all big problems. Number 2 is also applies to sweaters. It's static. Static is here in the winter because sometimes the air is drier, it's colder, electricity thrives in that. A really great way to discharge the electric power in your clothes is just to run it through a hanger to take it all out. You can actually hear the electricity coming out. It's fascinating and it really, really helps. A do is to add accessories like a belt can really help transform the dress from a very different look to potentially a more festive one, especially as we head into the holidays and we have more parties and maybe you don't want to like go out and buy a new dress every single time. Adding like a statement belt is huge. I love this one by Ralph Lauren. It's a bestseller. It's only $120 and it's a croc embossed burgundy that just makes everything look really elegant. And in terms of sweater dresses, your footwear. So sometimes with knee-high boots, and I covered this in that video, is that if it's too clingy, then your knee-high boots are kind of like pushing into your dress and it ruins the line. Likewise, if you have ankle boots and you have that ankle gap, then it just also ruins the line because all we're looking at is like that peekaboo skin, like right between like your hemline of the dress and where the collar of your ankle boot starts. You either pick a loafer, a pump, or a boot that is high enough to not peek out underneath. That's just gonna make your dress look as polished as you want it to. Make sure to check out how to wear knee-high boots in 2025. I'll see you there. And if you learned something today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.